music hot, 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 music.
Welcome everybody to the next edition of Cap and King Wadcast with Fraley. I am Cap.
I'm Dallas King.
I'm Chelsea Fraley.
Coming to you from the Amplified Whole Health and Forefront Church studio.
It's so nice.
We're in a studio. That's really cool.
Nice.
Big old jump right there.
Yeah, super appreciative of Justin and Jen Collier and Forefront Church for letting us be here and do this. So I want to give a shout out to Amplified Whole Health. They are, I already forgot. It's organizational executive.
Life
organizational executive.
Health. Organizational executive coaching. So,
you want to say that?
I don't know if I don't know. I don't know for sure, but it's any version of those four words in the best way possible. It's like how I tell my wife, if I say something, just take it in the best way possible. So the best way of those four words,
right?
Coaching, and they do a really great job. They're fairly new, right? They've kind of within the last 6 months or so,
right?
They have some podcasts coming down through here. Marvin was just
on
Martinez
from Primetime Barbershop.
Yeah,
shout out.
But yeah, this is super nice. It's wonderful that they let us do this.
So you guys don't miss the locker room?
No, it's not that we don't miss the locker room, but actually I can sit on something here. Look at this. Look at this back support.
I kind of miss bumping elbows with you every 5 seconds, but.
And also you're going to find the audio is so much better.
You can hear us now, and it's not two different audio qualities going from us to her. Hey, this is cool.
So super blessed that they let us do this, but
absolutely. So first things first, community shout outs as always. We got 2 from Activate Fitness, our home gym. We have first off Zach Stormer. We got a clip here of him hitting his first bar muscle up. He's been with us for more than 2 years now, not too long after we first opened up. So
and been chasing that bar for a while.
Yeah,
I remember it was a couple weeks ago. I'm not really sure why I picked that up. It's probably not good to have these things out here. We were chatting about just pull ups and bar muscle ups, and he's like, "Dadgummit, I've been here for almost 2 years. Why am I not doing this?" And then Lex, she sent me a video, and I remember I was either in a truck or on a tractor or something, and I stood up and I was like, do that pump. I was like, yeah. He was and got it so easy too. And
absolutely,
he nails it.
Right,
a lot of hard work there.
So we've got that, and then second one goes to Stacy Rogers. Obviously, PRs and goals are coming different forms, whether it be first muscle up or with her getting her first handstand in her adult life. Being upside down.
And after her wrist surgery.
Yeah, I always forget that was a thing.
Yeah.
It's because she pushes everything to the side. She is so nonchalant about everything. She's like, "Oh yeah, wrist surgery. It's not a big deal." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Every time she comes in, we do something. I'm like, "How's your wrist?" And she's like, "Oh, it's great. It's great."
That's fine. I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Okay.
Sure? She proved it though. Got upside down. That was a big fear of hers too. It wasn't just a lot of people want to be upside down, but she was she's one of the people that she'd flip up and wouldn't even go down and
your hands might hit the floor, but then your head got in the way. Absolutely. Yeah. So no, super happy for both of them. Very proud for both of them. Just got to see where we go from there.
Yeah.
All right. So on our last edition of Cap and King, we had our interview with the Heart of America team competition director Jeremy Mhire. Let's roll a quick clip of that.
I always just try to do things with authenticity. And I think just the authentic desire was just to serve the community and the people that were there. And I've always got to go back to that initial, just that primal basic desire to just put on a really great event. Right. And I don't care if it's covered by big media outlets, and I don't care if the high level elite games athletes are competing. I really have to lead from a place of, if they cover it, awesome. If they don't, I'm still going to try to do an awesome job. I'm not going to diminish or set the tone for planning the event based on whether or not those kinds of names or those kinds of media outlets cover it or show up. But in doing that, I think it's kept our intentions pure, and it's allowed us to grow the event in such a way that there's kind of this very casual it's really weird. It's like super casual, but it feels like really big. Those that have been cut from the old school cloth of CrossFit understand that that's the whole point. You don't get to choose the adversity that you face in life, bro. And I didn't choose to break my foot the other day, but it happened. And you know what? I'm making do. I did my workout this morning, and I focused immediately as a coach and as a gym owner. I'm constantly telling my members, listen, focus on what you can do, not what you can't. And that what you cannot do, work towards improving it so that you can do it.
I can just say, after talking to Jeremy, that guy is so nice. After going to that competition for a couple of years, outside looking in, I always thought that seems like a really good dude. Like, never actually met him though. Always wanted to, but at that competition, he's always running around, doing something. Like, he's busy. And then
like an autograph. Excuse me, Jeremy.
And then this past HOA, not only was he busy being director, but one of the guys from his gym went down, like with an injury during the competition.
Well, then stepped in.
And then he stepped in. So he put that upon himself, and that was really cool.
He was the patriot, just carrying that flag up the hill at the end. He's like, we're going. I'm helping.
So after seeing him and knowing who he is for a couple of years, finally getting to talk to him was a really, really cool opportunity. Absolutely super nice, very humble guy. Just a lot of cool things about him. He was one of those people that never really, I'm not going to say expected to be successful, but like being successful like wasn't the goal.
Yeah,
like he obviously wanted.
He's went with every opportunity,
right?
And then just went into it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, nailing it, did this."
And a lot of people they think I'm going to do this, I'm going to be amazing at it, and that's going to get me filthy rich.
And then when it doesn't happen, it's kind of tough.
What happened? Yeah. He never had that goal of I want to do so well in this. Like, I'm expecting to make a ton of money from this, but whether it be in CrossFit, owning his own business, or being a part of now a gold album selling boy band.
Yes, which that's awesome.
Plus one, check them out.
The old videos.
Yeah, I love them.
Not just like in comparison to what he looks like now, but like in comparison to what was in style back then.
Right.
It's just, it takes you back.
It's so fun.
It takes you back.
But yeah, he's managed to do well through every facet of his life. From what we can tell, from what we can see. Like I said, he seems humbled by all of it. Like
I really think that, I mean, when he's talking about like what he went through as a box owner this year, he's honest about everything. He doesn't try to put on a front. You know, everyone went through their own struggle through COVID, through all that stuff, and then what he talks about is just you see the real Jeremy. You know, you don't think that. I think he's hiding something, or I think there's more that he's not letting through. Like he just lays it all out there. I think that's why he's so successful in what he does.
Right, absolutely.
He says what he means, does what he says. I think I nailed that, dude.
Heyo. What I really liked is how, and I mentioned this in the interview, I think a good lesson that anybody can learn is always make sure that your foundations are set. He said whenever COVID was hitting and they were trying to decide what to do, obviously family was going to come first. So he got around his dinner table with his wife, with his kids, and discussed what do we do? And what he said was that whenever you have those conversations with people, you have then created a pact with those people that no matter what, I have your back, you have my back. And
they're set. Yeah, set in stone. Yeah. And
because he did that, they have managed to come through COVID very well. I think he said their gym has around 400 members in the interview, and they had only lost 25, which is impressive.
I think it speaks a lot to the community portion. Obviously the community that he built, but it's the CrossFit community. Everyone in here.
Yeah.
We've had these conversations where it's affected by COVID, like as far as communities, because you're not around as much. Everyone's worried in their own way, but for people to band around gym owners, their community, it's crazy. It's such a blessing to see that. Yeah.
And because he had those foundations set, like he picked where he started. Like what was important to him, his family. Like it comes first. Everything else fell in line. And I think that is something that a lot of people, myself included, forget about is where does this all begin?
You get
they
caught up
want
in
to
the
try
regular-
to, how can I stop everything from happening? You don't have to, because you have something set. Like this, you know where this is.
Yeah.
So you can go on to the next thing.
Yeah, but I mean that shows in everything he did through COVID, through his multiple careers. Y'all get to see in the interview. If y'all haven't already watched it, watch it. But he's got so many layers. I feel like everybody's got those layers. His may be a little bit more pronounced and nationally recognized than some people. But those people that you say idolize. We've been at HOA 6 to 8 years in a row. He's the guy. He's on the mic. He's running. He's talking to this person, talking to that person. You kind of like, oh man, I bet he's super whatever. He's crazy this. But he's a regular dude. He's working. He's got a family, and it's the most important to him. But that's what keeps him going. Is his values. So I think that was like one of the best parts of the interview.
Yeah,
because it sets up everything. This is what he did during COVID. Is what is the basis of everything. He really doesn't have to think about much more.
Right.
It's a really awesome lesson, which y'all talk about in there.
And I know I talked about this a little bit whenever I texted you guys after the interview, but his values, like y'all just said, are really important to him, and he has it set out really well where it's his religion. So it's God first, then his family, and then life. And so God and family come first, and then everything else is afterwards. And so and I think that if I'm remembering correctly, that was one of the things he talked about whenever he talked about his success. Is he's like, if you're gonna like chase like money or success or whatever, you're probably not going to be successful doing it. But if you just stop and you put God first, like, then it kind of just happens for those people.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is a big thing with him, and it was awesome.
I thought he did very well. Also, going back to what we were all doing during COVID, he specifically said, I did some things that other gyms are doing, loaning out equipment like we did, things like that. And he said, but we didn't go to like Zoom classes, Zoom calls, or we specifically stayed away from what some other people were doing. And he said the Zoom thing specifically was that there were so many people having to transition to Zoom for work. Now, if you want to throw Zoom in with your workout time, which is supposed to be like your sacred time that you enjoy, now it's starting to feel like work a little bit. So I thought that was a really smart thing, but it just goes to show he's really good about not just going with the flow. Like he's going to think and pray about everything. And he says himself, he's super stubborn. Like if people tell him you need to do it this way, then he says, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I thought that was really, really cool.
He's a really awesome dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just confirms what we all suspected. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Kind of the first guy, and that's why it's such a great event.
Yeah,
for sure.
So again, can't thank Jeremy enough for doing that, taking the time out of his day. Now has a broken foot.
Oh yeah, that happened like right before the interview, right?
2 weeks before.
What was he doing?
Coaching. So we all talk about like how there's crazy things that we do in CrossFit, and I hope I don't like misquote this somehow, but he was coaching in his box, and you know how we all get kind of set, like we get comfortable with our environment, like we're there every day. He said he was turning and moving, and as he was traveling, somebody had moved like a bucket of clips behind him, and his foot hit that as he was turning and going at the same time, and just kicked it just the right way.
It's a Dallas move.
It really is. I would have backed over it like as I was talking and falling all the way. Yeah, I had to do it every time I coach.
Yeah,
but isn't that frustrating? Like as an athlete, or like he does all that stuff. Like you said, we do a lot of things that would break a foot.
Yeah.
You know, if he steps on and he tripped.
Right.
It's like, are you kidding me?
It's always going to be the crazy things that's going to take us out one day.
Yeah.
I one time almost you guys know I used to do like partner acrobatics and stuff. I was hanging out
I've
with.
seen some videos.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very impressive.
I used to do that, and one day I was hanging out with a friend of mine at her parents' house down in Lone Oak, Arkansas, and we did some of the acro stuff. Just we had some free time, and then we went and played badminton. And between CrossFit and like acrobatics, badminton is the one where my knee popped out and went back into socket. And I was like, if I break a leg, I don't want to tell anybody it was from badminton.
You're lying about your injury.
I dropped a human on me. Like,
yeah, I was saving someone from a fire and stuff.
right? So cool.
Yeah, so it was a great interview. Watch the interview. It's
Absolutely.
up on YouTube,
Please do. Please do.
On our page.
So now, moving on, we have the CrossFit Open. Date is finally announced. February 18th for CrossFit Open of 2021. Starting, thankfully, back into the springtime season. I appreciate that a lot more, which is funny because now with the way everything worked out, we ended up with 2 opens in 2019 in the spring and the fall time. Yeah. And then in 2020 ended up with 0 opens. Hey, a whole year without it.
Yeah.
So 2020 strikes again on that. Me too. One, it's getting warmer again. I hated doing the open workouts in the cold.
There's always like snow or frost on the first one, and then the last one we do outside.
Yeah.
That's how it almost is, but I like it.
Me too.
You're rolling into the springtime, and I was like the springtime open because it's fresh off of everyone's resolutions is the wrong word, but it's right after the holidays. I just talked about I had cookie cake for breakfast and lunch. And like, no, we still have Christmas to go. It's going to be a rough December for everybody. Okay?
Right.
But after January, we get to like start gearing up for the open.
Mm-hmm.
Huge community thing. And it's just, I'm super excited.
Same.
It's going to be like old school CrossFit again.
Yeah, and I think there was something about it being in the fall time that kind of hurt. One, the open participation rate has been going down the past couple of years. Since 2018 was the highest we've seen CrossFit be in as far as participation and spectatorship. Then they took that change in initiative where former CEO CEO who will not be named, I guess.
We'll just call him Voldemort.
Voldemort will not be.
Yes.
I think so. Decides we're going to focus on the health initiative. We're going to build a studio with couches we found at 60s thrift stores and film old people picking up antifreeze, which don't get me wrong, we need that.
Yeah.
But I think the idea of going from 100% sport, which is not correct either, to 100% health initiative isn't quite the right move. It's finding that happy balance.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited and appreciative of what Eric Rosa is doing, because from the things that we've been seeing, whenever we watch the games this year, they would show clips of people who found CrossFit. I don't remember the guy's name because he got diagnosed with diabetes.
Yes.
And went through CrossFit, cleaned up his life, got rid of that. And I like that we are still showing that while still putting an emphasis on the sport. Like this is the happy blend CrossFit needs to be at.
Yeah, I think one of the things that gets lost is when we talk about sport, everyone immediately goes to the CrossFit Games. But, us 3 in here, we're going to do CrossFit as a sport at KO that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. We're not going to the games. It's not going to happen.
Speak for yourself.
Christian's on the way.
2020, never.
Never. But like we can still have a sport, you know. It's something outside of work, outside of chores, outside of whatever, and it's something like we can prep for. Having these like HOA and KO and the OK, it gives us something to like work toward, where otherwise we wouldn't have any reason. We'd just be like, we're getting fit to make sure we're staying. We're gonna be able to move until we're 90. Okay, like that's a cool narrative that we talk about. But it's not a fun one. You know, like going with your friends and achieving something, that's the fun stuff. And that's where the sport overlaps, where a lot of people lose it.
Right.
And a lot of people outside of the CrossFit community don't know that someone who just has done CrossFit for like a month can go.
Right.
And do it for sport. But I'm super pumped because the Open is that entry level to people and you can rank worldwide. That's the fun part.
And what's really cool, now that you mentioned that, we haven't actually talked about this. Eric Rosa has said he wants to introduce more events that are actually CrossFit held. So it doesn't go from the Open to regional or sanctional or whatever it's going to be, where it drops from everybody in the world to 40 people. He wants to have more in betweens. Like he wants to have actually CrossFit licensed events that more people can take part in. He said where that was motivated from was I don't know his age off the top of my head, but he's master's age for sure. Looks good. Looks good. Better than I ever have. But he would always place, I don't remember if he said in the top 100, top 500 in his age group, but high up there. But after the Open, his season was done. And he said he hated that he would do that well, but not be able to go any further than an online qualifier.
Yeah.
And now that he owns CrossFit, he can change that.
I'm going to make my own division.
Which I love because
Yeah.
there's going to be so many more people actually recognized as athletes. Like obviously we're all athletes.
Yeah.
But just the moment you step into that gym, but going to these officially CrossFit held events, I think that's awesome.
It's really cool. We kind of chatted. Now that you said that, we kind of chatted. And it was kind of like we compared it to like the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Remember? Yeah.
Yep.
And so this is virtually like an NIT.
Yeah.
So like people who don't make it to the games, we're gonna have a minor league
Mm-hmm.
or a semi-pro league for these athletes, and like that's gonna be even better. Because
Right.
just like you said, like everyone's gonna go. I mean, people have hobbies that they spend stupid amounts of money on. A weekend going to Indianapolis or Dallas, and probably for this region. That would be super doable.
Right.
We all go to comps. We're all gonna go
We are
here a little
going.
bit, right?
Yeah.
We're, hotel and stuff. That's gonna be a good time. You're gonna be able to like rank yourself among people. I won the competition. Nobody's got to know it's the minor league competition.
Yeah.
And nobody's got to know it's like a local thing. And there were
No
only
one
3
needs to
people
know
in
that
your
you got
division,
100th place out of 100 teams.
We don't know anybody who did that.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. It was 99.
No, it's 100.
No,
No,
the team
we-
dropped out, didn't it?
No.
No, we also have the 99th place team. I
also have
think.
the 99th.
We also, we
We're
also
killing
got
the
that
game.
one. So
Listen, we're just
we
getting our
had
name
fun
out
though. It was
And that's what
really
this is
fun.
for.
there. Well,
Like,
it is.
that's-
Well, seriously though,
if you're not
the
going to
sport
the
of it.
games or even sanctionals, like that's
Yeah.
what this is for. Like, yeah, you can come first place and bragging rights, but what's gonna happen next week? Nobody's asking for your autograph. You're not saving lives.
Yeah.
You're,
So
you're
having a
getting to
good
showcase
time.
your fitness, which is awesome.
Yeah, but having a good time should be number one.
Absolutely. That's what we
Yeah.
tell kids at Little League all the
Yeah.
time. Like that's my new favorite thing to say before any WOD starts. Like 10 seconds. I hope everybody has fun today.
It's wonderful. It's a good reminder. Like so Zach Stormer's going to go and hopefully there's going to be a bar muscle up where he gets to attempt it because he
Oh,
just
yeah.
got it right.
Absolutely.
So he's going to be so pumped. Like, and that's what it's for.
Yeah,
Like, those little
getting
things.
to show off where you are, no matter where that is.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to see how he does that. If it's going to be along with regionals, are they going to be regionals? I mean, he's kind of hinted at. it's
So
gonna
I've
move
actually
to
got
regionals,
what
right?
the ideas of the season is supposed to look like pulled up right here. I'll just go through this bullet points that Morning Chalk Up put up. So athletes will no longer qualify from the CrossFit Games directly through the Open. Good. That was kind of a mess in my opinion. Athletes will be competing to earn a spot at one of the sanctionals. So sanctionals are still qualified through the Open. There is a seeding protocol to determine which athletes will go to which sanctional. None of this, by the way, is like really set in stone, but this is what they've heard from multiple people working in CrossFit HQ.
My sources.
So it's still right.
Yes.
It's still being worked. The details are still being worked out. There's not a real clear idea what's going to happen with the national champions yet. It doesn't look like they'll probably stick around. But it's not like set in stone if it's going to be sanctionals or go back to regionals, or if whatever happens this year is going to be what happens from now on. Like, I think they're trying to, one, manage the new ownership, two, manage getting the stuff going on during COVID. Because as of right now, we can't completely say we're going to be out of COVID by March, April.
Yeah, we can't say fingers crossed. I think what's cool is what I can kind of see happening, what we've all kind of talked about and hoped. I think whenever you say we're going to do regionals again, then you take away like Wadapalooza and Granite Games and just name a few other sanctionals. Like that's a big moneymaker. Those are big brands, and I think what he's going to try to do is just make those the regionals.
Right.
Like he's saying proximity will see like where you go. Like Southeast will go to Wadapalooza, North Central. I mean, he's making regionals, like those regional. I forget what it's not area, a region. Yeah, regional regions, right? And then he's just going to send it to that one. So it sounds like he's morphing it. So we're going to do regionals again, but you get to still keep your revenue, your name that you built as far as like Granite Games. Or I can't think of any of the ones on the left side. Or the Fittest is one, and then
Had UMAC out there.
The
Oh wait,
one
no,
out.
UMAC was west side, I think.
But either way, he's doing regionals while encompassing someone who's doing something outside of CrossFit, which is something that Voldemort would have never done.
Exactly.
He would have never shared.
I really
That's
hope
awesome.
this also means that CrossFit's going to be helping fund those events.
Well, they should, yeah.
Yeah, well, whenever they first announced sanctionals, I was so against it. Not so much that it was a qualifier, but more so that I think for an event to be considered a sanctioned event, they had to pay into CrossFit $150,000 to send the top athletes to the games.
Mm-hmm.
But then they got nothing from CrossFit as far as I could find. And it was just paying them to get to be called a CrossFit event.
So CrossFit, quite sure that CrossFit didn't give anything up.
Yeah, exactly. It was Voldemort MO.
Yeah.
Give me money.
Which is okay. Bye. I mean, he built it, and we're not trying to, hit on a guy.
He made a great thing.
Yes.
He made a great workout ideology that we all practice daily.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm
should
happy
not have
with
ran a
how
business.
it's changing. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I was going to say something, completely forgot it. I don't know. It was about when they had to pay for it. I think it's going to be, well, no, I don't know. Sometimes you lose it. That's all right.
That happens. Trains derail.
That's a Chelsea move.
But you were talking about them, they had to pay and they didn't get anything in return. They're going to help fund it.
Right.
I'm saying all the things, but I don't remember what I was going to say.
That they had to pay into CrossFit to be CrossFit events.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, I was going to say that I didn't enjoy. I mean, it's cool as far as competitions go, but whenever the sanctional can do their own programming, not that anyone has better programming or worse programming, but athletes were not shopping, but they were forced to shop, and it happened. So they would just trickle down to one, and they're like, oh man, they just programmed for a 5'9" guy. And they program for a Fikowski kind of guy,
right?
Whatever it is. I would like to see everyone do the same workouts again.
And that's what made regional so nice.
Yes,
was that you were putting everybody up against each other at the same workout. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know if I would want to see the sanctionals morph into regionals, but I would love it if sanctionals became whatever that in between phase was.
Yeah,
what was between open and regionals. And then at regionals is where they would all do the same workouts, like regionals used to be traditionally.
Yeah. Well, they might have opened it up with that, with when we called it the CrossFit Games. What we watched was the top 10 people, but they had the first round. Maybe the regionals with all the same workouts, and nail it down to that 40 people who go to the games. But yeah, I like that. That would be you're just adding a semifinal in there.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
That could work really throw more people at this sport, give more people more chances.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that would open it up to CrossFit not having to pay as much for the sanctionals, because that was one of the problems with regionals. If they hold a South American regional, they're going to spend $2 million to get two athletes,
To get two athletes. So when there was a trucker strike going on at the same time. Right. I don't know if you remember that, but they couldn't even actually do one of the workouts the way it was programmed. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is doing, because they couldn't get the equipment down there.
So I think you can leave that up to the sanctionals, to do that portion, and then whenever you get to the official, we're trying to narrow down to the 40. Then we can do it, because then, those like South America, Central America, they can come up to like the South. I mean,
absolutely, they can travel somewhere without having to hold an entire regional and somewhere that's gonna be for two athletes. For an entire con, absolutely. So I think that'd be a great way to use the sanctionals.
Either way, it's the best way to build up to the games. Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I know this year was a different year, but there was no build up to it. It was like, hey, we're doing it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hey, these people came. I remember asking them, like, wait, how they get there? And then like someone was reading them, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. They're gonna do 4. Then they have, and then it was just.
And that really hurt a lot of the people that were shopping around for which sanctional they were going to go to, because the ones who had picked, well, I'm gonna go to Japan at the end of the season. Sorry, it's canceled, and so is everything else.
Yeah.
So, I guess going back to the Open, another big exciting announcement. This year's Open is going to be the first year with an adaptive athlete division and multiple divisions for that.
Super cool.
That is really cool.
Which that'll be like an upper and a lower, and then a wheelchair probably, right?
I think so. I don't know if they've completely announced that yet.
Generally, like whenever you go to like a Wadapalooza, it's an upper division where hand, arm,
right,
and then a lower. But lower doesn't technically mean you're in wheelchair, like
right? Because you
is it WIDA or WIDA?
I think it's WIDA.
Yeah, I always for years I pronounced it WIDA, and then I learned it was WIDA.
It's embarrassing.
I know, it's super.
Derek, if you watch this and we're wrong,
oh really?
Yes.
We're sorry.
He goes like he's not going to remember this. Like I was filming, and like it was like one of those awkward moments where I was like filming, and like he was right where you were, and I was like, And he goes, yes, sir, dude. And I was like, thanks, man. And then he just like left. And I was like,
Anybody see that?
Like, that was awesome.
And no one will ever believe
Nobody
you.
will ever believe me unless he comes on and he's like, hey, yeah, I remember this dude. He had wicked awesome hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll tag him
So
in
share
it.
the heck out of this video. Let's get Derek on here.
Well, Jeremy should know. If he watches
Yeah.
this one, he should tell it. And he's not going to remember. Derek's not going to remember. Plus, and even if he did remember, he's kind of got to be like, I ain't going to tell him that.
Is it
I
the
ain't gonna
same? Was
admit
it
to
the
that.
same time that we have a photo of you? Like
Yes, it was-
video.
yes,
Okay, well he
it
might if we
was.
show
No.
him the picture.
Maybe it'll jog his memory.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so that's an upper, lower, and then in a wheelchair. And so wheelchair, I think, covers tons and tons. Like, if
Right.
it's, there's a girl, her Instagram handle is Steph the Hammer. I think she has cerebral palsy. She
Oh,
is
wow.
she's a CrossFit coach, and so she competes. And so it'll be like that, and then I forget, is it paraplegic?
Mm-hmm.
You know, can still go with a wheelchair. So I think it would be those three divisions.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm speaking very ignorantly about these things, but I think that's how they normally do them. As far as like,
I'm super excited for that. I love more inclusivity. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I love it when things can be more inclusive
There it is. Yeah.
for anybody and everybody. I've always been a fan of the more the merrier,
Yeah.
especially
And
with things like these.
It's special in my heart. I never knew my grandpa to have two arms,
Really?
and
I didn't know
he
that.
actually cut wood for a living. Like he did everything. So
Wow.
and oh yeah, we almost had one of our members be an adaptive athlete. Shane
Shane.
almost lost some fingers.
I was like, do we talk about it?
Oh, we talked about that.
Because I mean, you can't not talk about it because
He deserves it.
I told him the other day I was driving through traffic and I thought he was waving at me, and then I was like, yeah, he's like, oh no, he's just got his hand up in there. He's got these two. But pray for Shane. I think he's got one finger's out of the water. The other one's still. We're waiting on it to show up.
We
but
told him he needed to get a sling because, like, surely his arm's tired. I said afterwards, you're just gonna walk around like this, even though
He's
it's
gonna
just
catch
gonna be
himself,
muscle
like-
memory. Like,
raising his hand like this.
also, Morning Chalka has 8 adaptive subdivisions.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Upper extremity impairment, lower visual impairment, short stature,
Oh, I had no idea. A short stature one.
That's really cool.
neuromuscular impairment. 2 seated athletes. Class 2 is athlete has hip function. Class 1 is no motor function of the hip, and then intellectual impairment.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Heck yeah.
They've
That'll
got a lot of ground covered on that. That's awesome.
That's like.
These are the
thinking
same.
I wish. Oh no, go ahead.
They're the same subdivisions that have been used by WillWOD for competition standards in
That's
like
really
Wadapalooza.
Well, that was a big motor that just went by.
Yeah, it was.
So I
Y'all
don't
can't
know.
hear it because we have microphones now, which is really cool.
Yeah, y'all would hear it in the old studio. Man, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
gonna be super. And that's you can't get closer to what CrossFit's for
Right.
than an
Right.
adaptive division, especially eight different.
Yeah, I
divisions.
didn't think there'd be that many, but it makes sense.
Well, that shows the lack of knowledge in that
Yeah.
area.
100%.
Because so long, I mean, I would say until CrossFit almost. I mean, sure, there's like the Paralympic Games and stuff. That's not very mainstream, but until CrossFit, I mean, I'm sure there was not very many competitions for
Right.
someone
Yeah.
who is missing an arm, missing a leg, wheelchair, or anything like that. That's exciting. So so all the open wads will have to be
A bunch.
regular open wad, and then there'll be 4 or 5 different. I think it would be really cool. Well, I don't know. It may be like if we tried to do it without an arm to
Right.
demonstrate.
Just tie
how-
one behind your back.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's also going to make the open announcements really, really cool because now we're not just going to have the top athletes or even like here's the average Joe from the gym that's hosting the announcement, but
Yeah.
we're going to get to see adaptive athletes on our screens performing. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. So I guess let's go back just broader terms of the open. Just want to talk about what some of our favorite and least favorite open workouts are.
Ooh,
Let's start with Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Okay, I screenshotted
How
them.
many do you have? How many opens have you been a part of? 2?
2.
2 of them.
But if you look at my CrossFit, what is it? The CrossFit Games app where you like log it.
Yeah.
Only
Your
one.
athlete page.
Oh, my athlete page.
Say it. Your athlete
Look
page.
at my athlete
Profile,
page,
your
and there's
athlete
only
profile.
one because I think I forgot to put my scores in 2019.
I've always forgotten one WOD in every single Open I've been a part of. I don't know why. It's just like, I'm Monday, I'm like,
And thanks to that, I beat you in the last Open.
Okay, I screenshotted 3. So 19.5.
Favorite or least favorite? Like
This-
or dislike?
This was a favorite, but it wasn't because of like the workout or the movements. It was because of the people and like
Okay.
the way that it happened.
Oh, I just remember this workout. I think this is my least favorite workout, actually, but you go ahead.
It's the rep scheme is 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 of thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups. And I did it RX, which is, I don't have chest to bar. So I was doing singles and I was swinging myself as hard as possible in my
Yeah.
kip just to get my chest up there. It was the worst I ever ripped my hands.
was this the one did you do this in the head-to-head?
No, this was the one
head-
that we had Avery and Eric in full gear.
in full, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Ew.
No, but I did save the head-to-head as well. But that one was just my favorite because, I mean, everyone was there. I was one of the last heats, and so everyone was there. I didn't want to keep going at all because I felt like I physically couldn't.
Yeah.
But everyone was cheering me on.
Yeah.
Allison Hearn was my judge, and I remember I was just trying to breathe, and somebody had walked up to me, and they were like, "Come on, pick up the bar," and I was like,
Bruh.
"Can you chill? Because I need to breathe." No.
You did not say that. You said that way too nicely. You said a lot of mean
I
things.
walked back up to the bar and I picked it up.
There you go. You're right. I probably should start moving.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. No, the one that I did head to head with Joni Best was 19.2, which was fun. I don't really want to read that one. It's really long.
What? What were the movements?
Oh, it was one of
toes
those
are-
where it adds time as you went
It
on.
was toes to bar, double unders, and squat cleans, which means for me, it was knees to 90, singles, and squat cleans.
Nice.
And like, yeah, it added
Those
time
are-
if you finished
Those are
whatever.
always tough. Like, it's hard to feel accomplished on those.
Right.
So those are my least favorite. Is that one of your least favorites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
just-
didn't like that one.
Yeah, because even if it's punishment, no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're not good enough, you only got to do one round, and you're like, you didn't break a sweat for that week, and you're like,
Well, and during it, I like felt good. I remember I like felt good. I was like, this is really hard, but I feel like I'm doing a good job.
yeah.
And then like afterwards, I mean, I didn't make it on. I think there was 4 possible rounds, and I only got to 3, and Joni was still going, and I was like, oh man. I was like, I could have still gotten one more, like if I would have obviously done it
Yeah.
correctly. But worst one, or not worst one, but 20.4 was box jumps, clean and jerks.
Pistols.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought pistols were in here. And then pistols, and that was the first time I'd gotten a pistol. I mean, it was very like, I had to wear my lifters. I had to bend over and grab my foot, but I
Whatever
got
it
some.
takes.
Hour of mobility.
yeah, but I
yeah.
got some. So
Good.
those are my fave 3,
Yeah.
I guess.
Cool. Cool.
I'm not gonna remember the numbers. I'm just gonna describe the workouts.
All right.
Okay.
But I know it was my first Open, and I think it's probably just
Ooh.
more sentimental. than anything.
Grassroots.
Yeah, I think it was 2013. 'Cause, yeah, it was me and Lex got married in 12, and it was our first Open. I joined right after that, and this was. I wanted to say this about regionals. This was what made one of the fun things in a box is as you were making your team. If you finish in top 3 of your box,
Right.
you got to score for your box,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
what was submitted. And I think I ended up like someone came in like on like a Monday after the Saturday and beat my score, but I was top 3 in the gym that we were a member of for this workout, so I was super pumped. You know, like the first like 6 months of CrossFit is magical.
Right.
Like you're getting so good so fast, and then you hit that
30 pounds
like,
PRs. Yeah.
yeah. It was snatches and burpees. The snatch weight was like 95. It started off with like 40 burpees.
Okay.
And then I think it was like 30 snatches. And then
Oh, we just did a repeat on this a couple months ago.
something like that.
Yeah.
And they did it kind of in consecutive years, but they changed the second one.
Yeah.
But I remember the gym owner he was able to snatch the 165 squat snatch, and squat snatching them was like just out of the question. It was not going to happen. But like I muscled up like 2 of the 165, and the nastiest snatches you could ever see.
Yeah.
He's like, one of those. But I just remember like the excitement there was in the gym and how accomplished I was because I was in the top 3. I finished in the top 4, so I didn't get to score, but I thought I was going to score.
Yeah.
And so I liked that one a lot. The other one that I really like, mostly because it's like a nemesis of mine, is the one that you add score to. It's the overhead squat and chest to bar, where it was a 10-10. It was 2 rounds of 10-10.
Yes. We just did a repeat on that a few months ago, too.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of open prep. We're trying to. It's like,
I can see that.
We see the open happening, and we want to get everyone excited again because it's not been that way in the last little bit. But I'm not very good at pull-ups. Gymnastics and overhead squats have always been kind of tough for me. But I just enjoyed those pairings because they're super simple. It's not really not until you get super good you got to worry about pushing on that workout.
Right.
You got to be technical and go through it. And I really enjoyed that. I honestly, one of my least favorites is going to be one of the whatever 0.5s that had thrusters and something in them.
Almost all of them.
Right. They almost always do. I think the one, probably the thruster row one. We talked about this the other day. It was along the same thing. It was like 30, 27, 21, something like that.
Yeah.
Thrusters in calorie row. Mm-hmm. And I remember the last heat went when at that gym, and we were like, where'd everyone go? And everyone was outside puking because like those things you just die.
Yeah.
There's no other, like people talking about, oh, I'm going to pace it. It's not pacing. Not if
Right.
you want to do your best.
Right.
It's just you do all 27, you do all 27, you do all 21, no excuses, and then you die at the end.
Yep.
But those, just because I don't like to push that hard, are my least favorite. But I mean, when you're done with them, though, you feel really
always
good.
Sense of feeling good
What
afterwards.
about you, sir?
Well, just one quick side comment. I didn't even know CrossFit existed in 2013, so I wish I had CrossFit Open stories from back to that far.
Is that another old joke? You said
of course
just
not.
after your time earlier.
Yeah.
Like, we're 4 years old, 4 years apart.
I'm 26. I didn't think
5
about
years
that.
now. Yes, I'm the old person here.
Before I go to mine, how many CrossFit Opens have you been in? Because we asked her.
7.
Nice.
7.
Um,
Well, I guess there wasn't one last year. Oh, there's 2 in 2019, so 7. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've been in 3.5. My first year to do the Open, I got pneumonia and had to take most of it out. But like whenever I could like get around and move, I wanted to go watch my friends work out because I really missed the gym.
And they're like, "Get out of here, Christian! You got pneumonia."
Pneumonia.
And so I was better, but like my lungs just weren't
You're like
there
from
yet.
the back. You're like,
Speaking in the door. But like it was just driving me nuts just watching them do this, like knowing I'd already paid my $20 and I wasn't getting to do it. And I was in college and broke, and $20 was a lot of money at the time.
Absolutely.
So
You can get a lot of McChickens.
You
that's
really
a lot
can.
of McChickens.
That's a week full of eating right
to be
there.
fair, $20 is a lot of money now.
I'm not kidding. I really like $20 if someone would.
Please donate. No. I did like the last 2 workouts of that year. So I would say my least favorite is that 19.5, the 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 thrusters, chest to bars. Because same thing, that was the worst I've ever ripped on a workout. I think I took the next week or so off just because I didn't want to touch anything. I was happy to get through that workout. I literally finished that one in 19:59 with 1 second left, and that's only because Mark Watson was my coach, and he was doing
He don't
like,
let you slack.
well, he was doing the mental work for me. He was like, all right, you got to do this many reps. Okay, now pick up the bar and do this many reps. And also, I don't want to disappoint that man. So I was like, I have to finish.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the cool part. The judges, normally, like a new athlete will get judged by an experienced athlete, and you get to, there's a time where you get to say, hey, this is how you should break it up. And some athletes are like, you don't think about breaking up stuff strategically on a regular day. And you're like, okay, do this, don't redline here. I like that portion too.
Absolutely.
That's
It
what's
makes
nice
you
about
think about it.
y'all,
Yeah.
because I never would have thought about that. And then like you would come to me and be like, hey, this is what you should do. And I'm like, that's smart.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
was going to do that actually.
That was
That's
one of the things I
exactly
was
my
gonna
plan.
No, that one just I think it was after having so many thruster chest to bar pairings. and just knowing that one was made to ruin you.
Yeah.
I get a lot of the open workouts should feel like that. That one just didn't do it for me.
Well, and it's comparable to Fran, and you're like, so was it heavier or was it still 95?
95.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's Fran with chest to bar it's like double Fran, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know
With adding that, not quite. Actually.
Yeah, it's close.
Close to.
Either way, like you know how bad Fran hurts, and so if you're gonna double it with chest to bar,
It's more than double actually.
yeah. So you're like, I'm with you. You're like, why did you have to make it worse?
Right.
Like, we could have just done Fran.
Just done Fran.
You know.
So yeah, that sucked. Also, it was impossible to breathe. I don't know what it was, but like that was the same. I was hearing the same problem with everybody else.
Well, it's just the core. I mean, those are both core movements. I mean, everyone's gonna say those are arm and leg movements, but they are not.
They're
They are
not.
core.
Yeah.
Core to extremities.
Core
Son.
to extremities. And then one of my favorites that I kept coming back to thinking about this. It isn't talked about a lot. And I've always wanted to retest it since doing it the first time. Was 18.3.
Doesn't it kind of scare you though when you're like I enjoyed this, I want to retest it, and you go to retest it, and you're like,
Why did I do worse?
I don't want to do it. I don't know if I do it.
18.3 was 2 rounds for time. You started with 100 double unders, and you would do 100 double unders after like each movement. So you do 20 overhead squats, 12 ring muscle ups, 20 dumbbell snatches, 12 bar muscle ups, and that finished a round. So you wouldn't do double unders after that, but 2 rounds of that.
I don't know. I barely remember that workout.
It stuck out to me so much because one, I did not have my ring muscle ups for long.
Well, then
before that.
it sounds like, I'm not going to give away the back end of this, but it sounds like that needs to be a retest here very soon.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay. I just got nervous in here.
Just rings fall from the ceiling right now. Here we go. No, I had my ring muscle ups were very new at the time. I could do like 3 at a time whenever I was super fresh.
In that first open WOD with ring muscle ups, after you get ring muscle ups, you're like, hell yeah.
I'm so ready for
got
this.
this. I'm going to do all 12 of them unbroken. You've only done one. Kind of janky, you know, like.
But I can.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I whenever I did it, I had met Travis Black one time before this shell shock. And Travis Black is one fit man. If I'm ever as fit as him, I will count my life successful. But
It's over now.
right? I can sleep. So he and I did it in the same heat, and he beat me by 1 rep. And
Son of a.
well, like I consider that I beat him just because I can right now hope I'm more fit than I was then. Back then, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
That was still pretty early CrossFit for me, kind of ish. So being that close to him with a bunch of workouts, like a bunch of movements that are just fun to me. I love gymnastics. I love double unders. So, and then just throwing in a little dumbbell snatch and small overhead squat in there. And I don't know. I liked it a lot. That one goes back to.
It's manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't heavy.
Oh, and those 2 rounds of time was like a 12-minute cap. That's
Yeah.
was the big kicker, 12 or 14 minutes. And that year, there was only a handful of people who finished it, like worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
So most people were having a hard enough time getting that second round. And that's where I was. I think I was 5 reps on those 12-bar muscle ups, 7 reps away from the second round. So even though I wasn't there, I was really happy with what I had. Yeah. So that goes to my favorite. Really, really enjoyed that.
It'd be fun to see. I bet they bring some back. I mean, I guess it's still Castro that's going to do the open WODs, huh?
Yeah, he's still, as of now, programmer for games and open and things like that. So we'll see.
So do the fifth ones always have thrusters in them?
Almost
just
always.
generally.
Well, that's what I really liked about the 2020 Open, that they got thrusters out of the way early in the 20.2 and dumbbell
And they did
thrusters.
dumbbells. And
So
how
there's
they
only
did
like
'em,
4 at a time.
They were doable. Yeah, they were doable.
So you never got that same stimulus you had on literally every other thruster workout where, God, I'm going to die.
They're like, do 87 of them unbroken. No, I liked that. I will say, of all the thruster ones, I liked that one
That was
because
my
it's
favorite.
super doable.
Yeah.
4 of
It wasn't, I didn't look like I was climbing Everest. And I was doing that knowing that the thrusters were done for the Open after that. And everybody, I remember I would talk about that with everybody, and they were like, but we haven't done barbell thrusters. Those were dumbbell thrusters. I said, I don't care. They're thrusters. He's got so many other movements he's got to worry about.
But
we're
then
not going to see him again.
In the back of everyone's heads, we're like, this is Castro we're talking about.
Exactly.
He's going to do thrusters
Well,
3 weeks in a row.
It was like that year. It was the 2018 Open where fans got to vote on the last workout.
Oh yeah.
He picked one of 3, and everything I saw online, everybody was, we're gonna do all 3. He didn't say we're not gonna do just the one voted, so we're gonna pick what order we're doing them in, and then he's gonna flip it. Like, I don't think it's that bad, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. No.
So, yeah.
Open's coming.
Open's coming. Super excited. Can't wait to see what we do for it this year. Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Owner.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
It really is. If anything, just having everyone together in the same spot for the first time in a year in an open format it's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely. Last Open was lame for me. Not gonna lie. Like we all had small turnouts as it was because in the wintertime it just didn't make sense. But also,
well, everyone, that's fat season. Plain and
Exactly.
simple. Everyone's like, no.
Well, and then we had to try to schedule it on either like a Friday or a Saturday, but Friday night's football for most parents.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even then, for me, I had just switched to a new job at the time, and I could not make it to any of these get-togethers. So I did most of the open workouts after the Friday 8:30 class by myself. Like I had, like I would have whoever was there to judge me, and like, well, there's my open workout for the week. Didn't get to do it with any of my friends.
Yeah.
I do have to say, when talking about competitions and stuff, I do not like being a judge.
Well, you don't want to.
I don't want to.
You don't want to tell
it.
people no rep.
Well, it's the
I
hard.
love telling people no rep.
Well, the thing, you got
Yeah,
to
I know.
remember, like, nobody who has much, let's say, much moral gumption, they don't want to do a no rep.
Well, yeah, but like when someone is fighting to get something, I don't want to be like.
That one's tough. Well, you're talking
sorry
about
about your
someone
luck.
who got a pull up last week and they're trying to get their pull ups, and you're like, this is the 17th try, and their nose is not even getting. It's a
That
tough
is
one,
hard.
but you
Well,
just,
and
you
I'm
just
bad
lean
at
down
math.
into them, and you're like, that was a no rep.
So like one year it was my first year to judge, I think, and I had to judge Mark's dubs, and I was like, is this a joke? Okay. So BJ helped me.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, hey BJ, come here.
So, but like on that note of like, they just got their first pull up and now they're not even close. I think that's where you get to pick, scale it, and RX. And if you chose RX, then you chose to get the better score because you picked RX, and you also chose to push yourself. Like you were going to spend this 15-minute workout trying to get that pull up or trying to get that first muscle up, and that's a choice. And there's nothing wrong with that choice.
And the best way is just tell, hey, listen, I know you're trying for your pull ups, but if you don't get them, I can't give them to you.
Right.
This is I mean, we have to hold this standard. And so as long as you say it before, you get someone. Listen, someone who comes to mind is Stacey Rogers. She'll like be cussing you out but smiling at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I know we talked about it, but F you for no rep type thing. But no, it's tough. It's tough because you want people to succeed, and then it's like 10 minutes of trying to get something. You're like,
I'd rather just hang out and cheer people on.
No. Yeah.
I just want to judge and eat the pizza that the judges get provided.
Oh yeah.
So I guess let's move on before we spend another hour talking about the Open. The Open's just so fun.
It really is.
I love it.
I mean, I'm not to jump back on the Open, but that's one of the best parts of CrossFit.
do it.
That's a whole month.
Yeah.
That's 1/12 of the year that we get to spend as a community.
Doing
and
CrossFit
the growth that you have there, if that month is spent correctly, is just astronomical and so beneficial for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I think that's why. And I think that's why it sucks that they moved it and they changed it, because then it kind of takes away, like from a gym owner perspective, like that's something you don't have to do anything for. That, I mean, we have to do stuff, get stuff ready and organize it and stuff, but like that's not your idea. It's just everyone's going to come do their best and everyone helps. They judge.
Right.
They somebody gets their first something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. I'd say like that's number one.
Yeah.
If you're ranking why we love the Open, when someone gets that muscle up in a competition or a rope climb, they're not going to do a rope climb.
Right, but you
Yeah,
get
they
it,
get
yeah.
that. It's awesome.
And it's where you get to see that sense of community. Like when we talk CrossFit, we talk about this is all about community all year long, but there's only so many moments that you really see it. And that's 5 weeks in a row where you see it. So my first Open with Activate, I had just started coaching for you guys, and I knew like nobody, and I was trying to like meet people. And then we decided to do the intramural, and you guys asked me to be one of the team captains, and we were going to do like the draft at B-Dubs or whatever. So we did that draft, and like I'd pull a name, I would pretend like I was super excited about the name. I was like, I have no idea who this person is. Please add me on Facebook. Let's meet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a little aside. I know we're trying to get off the subject,
It's okay.
but I'm a big Andy Frisella's fan. He owns First Form supplements, and the other day he talked about macro discipline and micro discipline. So we get to do micro discipline all the time. We show up, we work out, we work on our bar muscle ups, we work on our pull ups, we work on our squat cleans, whatever it is. And then the macro discipline is the application of that discipline. So when we go to a competition or we have the open, that's why they're so fun.
Right.
Because it's like training for a fight your whole life and then never actually going into a fight. So when you get to do the open in front of all your friends, the one that you've been sweating with and working out with, that's the macro discipline that you get to apply. When it's game time, I'm going to apply the stuff that I been working on into that, and that's why it's so rewarding and fun. I know that's weird, but it's a good way to put it. That's why it's so much fun to do a small competition like KO.
Like KO,
I think
which is what we're transitioning to next.
Yeah.
We'll finally get to that. So the next big thing for us here locally, we have KO and the OK, a really large competition
It's like
in
the
this
last
area.
6-man, right?
Yeah, the
Pretty
last
much around
6-man
here.
competition that I know about going on.
6 person.
Six co-ed teams, 3 guys, 3
There we
girls,
go.
3 dudes, 3 lady dudes, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa?
Yeah,
Tulsa.
yeah.
I don't know why I brain
I
fart for a
always
second.
think,
I
oh,
said
okay,
OKC.
is it? Yeah.
But 6-person team competition, Tulsa, Oklahoma, bracket and knockout style, hence the KO. I love the bracketing system here, like, because you go to those competitions every year, and as we talked about how it is the fun thing that we're training for all the time, you always still get those buttheads who are
not supposed to be in the scale division.
Exactly.
Or not supposed to be,
or maybe not even be there. Either way, that's a lie. But
I was thinking of that on a different level. I know what you mean, but I was like,
What
that's kind of rude.
yeah, I'm obviously talking about Chelsea here.
What are
If
you
you guys
saying?
couldn't figure that out. But when
Feel
people are
attacked.
like doing sub 2 Frans and then they sign up for Festivus, we don't want that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that sucks.
Yeah. These are the people who do want to get away with the no reps that we were talking about.
Exactly. So KO is super cool for people who aren't familiar with it. And the scale division, and RX, there's one division. There's RX. In the scale division, on Saturday, there's 3 workouts. Sunday, there's 3 workouts. Saturday, there's 100 teams. They do all the workouts. Sunday, it's bracketed. Top teams 1 to 33 are in the gold division. Next 33 are silver. Bottom 34 are bronze. I love that, because then that means all of day 2, you are working out with people who are in your skill level.
Yes.
And I love that.
It's wonderful. I think it's the best way. In all honesty, I think they need to go take away the RX division.
Okay.
I think it needs to be. I mean, sorry, I don't know if we meant to go that polarized.
No, let's go. Let's go.
There's no reason on Saturday they could do things and they could put like one muscle up in, and that will separate people real fast.
Right.
And then you have, I mean, maybe there's 4, whatever it is, but it's the best way.
Right.
There's no other way to get people to not enter where they don't belong.
Right. So you would rather it be just one division,
100 and whatever teams.
100 whatever teams, and so the way KO works as of right now, unless you guys listen to Dallas and decide to change all of it, I'm sure you will. He's a smart man.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
We're changing it all.
As of right now, the way it's set up, silver, gold, bronze, they all do like the same workout. They do the same weight, same movement, with some discrepancy every now and then. Gold will have maybe a more severe gymnastic movement in the last workout. So mostly those 3 divisions are doing the same workout. So you would rather it be those 3 divisions of doing different weights, different movements, but it's all in one.
Well, no, I don't even think you separate them. It's just like the open.
Okay.
I do the same workout as Rich Froning does,
Right. Okay.
but Rich Froning is clearly going to do better.
Right.
Sorry, Matt Frazier for the non-OGs. I gotta say that Matt Frazier's now fitter than Rich Froning.
The new GOAT.
The new GOAT. So Matt Frazier's going to do the same workout as me. It doesn't matter if we're doing rowing and deadlifts, or we're doing.
You're both doing
muscle ups and
225.
snatches. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we're doing the same thing. He's going to do better because he's the fitter athlete. So if you go through all of Saturday with the exact same stuff, fairly doable workouts, and I think it'd be fun because they're going to be doable workouts. So that's one thing. That's one of my hiccups with like, competitions when they're like, oh, we're going to do 290-pound snatches, and then we're going to do 74-inch box jumps where they're you just can't do them. You can't apply the work that you've put on in. It's like crazy. But if you do a full Saturday of regular workouts, the cream will always rise to the top. The inexperienced will stay where, toward the bottom or wherever they're going to be. And then you move, and now it's a true, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
You're doing the same thing, but now you're not giving people anxiety, because along with people who don't belong in the scale division, there's some people who belong in the RX, but they don't have the confidence to be in the RX.
Right.
So that gives them an opportunity.
Or they
to
like being
excel.
on a podium.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking the other.
Oh,
people.
gotcha.
The people who don't want to be in RX, who want to be on the podium in scale.
Oh, okay.
But there are some who aren't. They're like, I don't know if I'm ready for RX.
But
they've
they
been
are
working hard.
So this is the competition to push them to that.
Yeah. And,
okay.
and they'll do this because the people who want to be on the podium, they'll probably not push hard enough.
Right.
That sort of thing. I just think it's a cooler way, because it's cool for the scaled part, and then the RX is just kind of up there doing their RX thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we didn't plan on going that route, but
I don't hate it.
That's how I would like it. I mean, that's how they do it with the Open. I mean, when they find the fittest people. It's not.
While we're talking 6-person team stuff, because I meant to bring this up at some point while we were talking about the games, but we never got to talk about teams because teams didn't get to happen in any outlet. There's been so much talk about like that 4-person team, because you had mentioned that KO was the last 6-person team competition going, and with the game switching down to 4-person teams, most competitions have followed suit. What do you think about the idea of a team competition where it's a 4-person competition where you register 6-person teams, where you can actually have a roster where you switch in and out due to like weaknesses and strengths, but also you have something for injury. So if somebody gets injured, you don't have to be like, oh, well, that sucks. Our team has to drop out.
We have, well, I say I and someone, I don't know, we've been all the way down this road. It ends in grid. Grid league.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't get talked about much.
It's yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's a blast from the past. It was there for 2 seasons.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, is that on TV?
Yeah, you don't remember?
No, I've only seen it on Instagram and like lately.
Dude. No, they're legit. Now, they got super scary with some of the movements. They were like, you're going to hold this crocodile in between your legs and do toes to bar with it while hanging from muscle-up rings.
Gotcha.
They got silly. Or they were doing pistol box jumps.
No thanks.
They would pistol, and then out of it, they would jump over a box on the 1 foot. So you have these specialists. So what we had proposed, and this is a weird thing to say, but a gym where you pick your top 10 athletes, a gymnastic, a barbell, whatever. There had to be a master's in it, and you can tag them in and out. Like everyone has to do 4 of the workouts across it was multiple days.
Right.
Everyone had to do at least 4 workouts. And more or less, you go and you put on a show for what you're good at.
Right.
And that's what it was. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at, because we've talked about it, because it's fun. Like this is what I said. Like I don't want to go and suffer at a competition for something that I'm just not good at.
Right.
Some competitions do that. They're like, oh yeah.
Well, the only reason why that ever popped in my head was because whenever they were qualifying people into the games, there was all these things where like, oh, we're going to get this amazing athlete who's going to go solo, but they're going to be on our team for this sanctional to qualify us, and then we're going to replace them just for the sake of being in.
I didn't know they were allowed to do that.
They were allowed to do that. They could switch team members out twice.
See, I think that's a fault. I mean,
exactly.
They could do that right there.
And that's why I think like this roster thing works, where it's like you have these 6 people and they don't switch out. You have to have them for qualifying, but on the case of an injury, you have somebody to back up.
Yeah. I would like you could keep it at 6 and be like, I think it would be easier for the competition too, because you could say this is a 3-person WOD, pick 3 of your people.
Right.
And
okay.
This is a 4-person
so it doesn't even
WOD.
have to be 4-person WODs every time.
This is a 2-person. If you have a person that hasn't competed in a WOD yet, they have to be in it.
It's like Survivor.
Maybe.
I watched it the other day.
Is that how they do that?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So something like that.
Just like Survivor.
Yeah. So that's a true. And then if someone gets hurt, now someone just has to work out more.
Right.
And so it's not a disadvantage, or it's not an advantage because someone came in to help halfway through and they had an injury and they haven't had to work out the weekend.
Right.
Everyone's there. I think we've stumbled upon a really good idea.
Listen here, Eric Rosa.
Yes.
So going back to KO, that was kind of a segue, but it just popped in my head. That's in January 16th and 17th. Very excited about getting some Saturday Night Cheesecake Factory, as I do every year.
Every year. Man, everyone goes. We have so many teams sign up, and that's why I like about the 6-person. I don't know if you're about to talk about this or not, but it's so easy to hide in a 6-person. So it's super helpful for someone who's iffy about competing.
Right.
They know that maybe they don't have to do that overhead squat or that pull up that they're scared of right now, but they want to jump into a competition. That's why I like 6-man. That's why I'm glad they haven't switched to a 4.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, same. And I hope they stick with the 6-person.
Yeah, and it's tough logistically. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You can
It's
see
a lot
the
of bodies
struggle
on the
out there.
floor.
Yeah.
A lot of bodies. Also, putting together a 6-person team is really, really hard. I'm not gonna lie. But it's worth it. It's fun because there's 4-person competitions out there. There's 2-person competitions out there. And that's what I appreciate about KO.
That's what I appreciate about you.
That's what I appreciate about you. Is that what you appreciate about me? And also, KO, we get the first time since we've started doing this anyway. Cap versus King gets to happen.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm excited.
I'm also excited.
But we can use that to segue into our next thing. At the time of you seeing this video, hopefully you have seen an Instagram post from us teasing Cap and King versus blank, where we will be taking on somebody. Who will that be, though?
It's you.
So the idea here, can this plant hold this? I don't know.
think it's a succulent. It's
Maybe
very
the Dundee can hold
Hey,
it.
look.
The Dundee can hold it.
Look.
There we go.
Well, not
check
the,
this.
okay.
So anyway, I'm going to talk while we set this up. What we are introducing is Cap and King versus you. What we're going to do, hopefully starting in January, we will come up with the workout. Dallas and I will
I think
perform.
we've nailed down the first workout.
Think so?
18.3.
18.3.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I was
earlier,
hoping
so-
that's where you were going with that. Heck
so
yeah.
If that's going to be the first WOD.
We'll find a way to make
So
that
is
turn
it
into
going
a
to be? Is it
team
going to be
war.
like a team? Like me and you were doing the WOD?
Yeah, like us together, like as a
Okay,
team.
Good,
So
good.
good.
I don't want to do it versus you.
No,
So then does,
This
like-
is-
You're like a
Is
pair of
you?
people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the two of us. So reason being for why I like this idea so much. Do you guys remember the CrossFit Team Series? It's what happened in. It was like the Open where you and a partner got together in the fall time, and it was like 2 or 3 weeks long instead, and you got to use the Open leaderboard and things like that and compete with other people. So what we're going to be doing is Dallas and I will pick a workout, whether we find it or make it or somebody sends it to us, something like that. We will perform it, put our time or our score, whatever that score will be. We'll post that for you guys. And then we'll give you guys a 2 or 3 week window where you get a partner where you can do same sex or co-ed. We'll have weights and regulations for both genders. Just because we're both guys doesn't mean we're going to leave girls out of this. Chelsea, you can come kick both of our butts.
Nope.
Solo.
I'll pass.
Where you and a partner will then perform the workout. And if you beat our score, you send that to us.
Big if.
You probably won't. We're pretty freaking fit.
Does there have to be a judge, or we just trust
So
people?
let's talk about that. We want 2 videos, kind of what we're talking about right now. Since there's 2 of you, there's gonna be 2 phones anyway. 1 phone recording a regular video that you will send to us, and then 1 phone taking a time-lapse video that for you to post on Instagram or Facebook with the hashtag Cap and King versus you. We officially have our first hashtag.
That's what
I'm
talking
excited.
about. Yeah. We get some traffic up in here.
Absolutely. And as far as the judging thing goes, that's what we wanted the videos for. More or less, we are okay with honor system. We trust you guys. Like, this is for fun. This is don't be a butthead. But if you are getting together your friends and doing this, because things are more fun when you do them with friends. So let's say Dallas and I are doing it together, and we got Chelsea and her partner to do this with us. Like, we will go and then they go, and they can judge us as we do it, and we'll judge them back and forth. Not necessary. If you want, might add a little bit of fun to it. And we're not doing this just for funsies. Like, we're gonna throw in some kind of prizes. If you any score that beats ours, we're gonna put in a drawing. We'll do that drawing live on Instagram or something.
I said drawing. Let's say
Drawing.
any score. It
No,
might
I
people
can't.
beat our
My
score.
wallet's only so small.
You get 3 pennies, sir.
I can't afford everybody who
I
beats
have.
us. No, so we'll put in a drawing, and per month will be a different prize. So we'll announce that whenever we get closer to that particular one. But yeah, hope you guys will take part and enjoy that. Like, that's something that we've been working on, and we're super excited for it. Plus, we're all here to talk about fitness. Might as well do a little bit of fitness too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have like a new achievement, like if you got a bar muscle up, if you got a new PR, remember, hashtag us. What was that? Just Cap and King Wadcast, something like that.
So you can
know.
just tag us on Instagram at cap_and_king, so we see it. Or you can email it to us. We have capandking@gmail.com, or shoot it to us on Facebook, Cap and King Wadcast with Fraley.
Because that's why we're doing it.
Mhm.
We want to
This
see
is for you guys.
those athletes doing their thing, like whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be CrossFit. I mean, if
Yeah.
you have something new that you achieved, let us know. Show it.
Absolutely. Or if you have events going on, because we're getting to the holiday times, if you have events going on that like benefits the community at all, let us know. We want to help. Like that's what we are here for. All right. You guys got anything else about that?
If you have any interview suggestions,
Who do you want to see on the show?
Obviously attainable.
Don't say Matt
Pretty
Fraser.
much everybody. And I'll send him a DM, slide him DMs. No, he won't, because I said Rich Froning was fitter than him. I mentioned Rich Froning before.
Let's get Rich Froning on the show.
Bro, let's do it.
Let's just drive to his house.
Okay. We all know where he lives.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, no, I think that's everything.
Chelsea,
Sorry
got
I was
anything you
yawning
want to
so
add?
much.
Nope.
No?
Nothing?
All right.
Nope. Shocker, right?
Earlier you said Chelsea and her partner, and Chelsea and her Parker should work out together.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cute. That's cute. That's going to be y'all's team name, too.
Okay, well, he hasn't
Chelsea
been
and
since
my Parker.
February, so.
Well, good thing he's gonna jump back in. This is a perfect opportunity.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for sticking around
see
with
y'all.
us. We appreciate it. See you next time.